I can
Oh,
do
I
it.
got it. I'm recording it now.
There
All
we
right.
go.
So if you could do me a favor, after you're done with your intro, go into the chat area and go ahead and message the entire group, your name, your company name, as well as the best way to contact you, whether it's email or by cell phone. Okay. And then what we'll do is we'll go ahead and share this. Now, if you don't want to share your information, don't type it in the chat. But what we'll do is I'll go ahead and copy this later and share it all with everybody, so that if you want to follow up with someone, if there's somebody that you're like, hey, Selena looks like she's a good person I would like to be in contact with, go ahead and contact them later. All right. So go ahead, Scott. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Thank you. Scott Harrell, my business, Lifetree Prosperity. I'm a business and insurance advisor, and I posted my info in the chat, including my latest link tree, which links to most of my other connections. I'm the owner of the business. I am a licensed insurance provider specializing in life insurance, health insurance, and Medicare. And I've been a member of the chamber since, I think, 2016.
Cool.
And
Fantastic.
do we doing the successes part, or is that later?
Not yet. We'll do that later.
Okay.
Right now, just
All
quick
right.
introduction.
Then
All right.
move on to the next person.
Great. Thank you. Colonel, go ahead.
My name is Carl Dowdy. My company is Healthy Life Products. I've been with the chamber for about a year now, as a matter of fact. You know me as a colonel, I guess. Most of you do.
And I'm sorry, name of your company again, Carl?
It's Healthy Life Products.
Fantastic.
And water purification systems primarily.
Fantastic. All right, thank you. All right, Jim Better.
Okay, I am Jim Better. My company is Essential Plans of Insurance. My job title is owner, operator, and auto washer and trash taker outer. Our primary focus is on helping people prepare for their end-of-life journey, which focuses on financing long-term care expenses. I've been a member of the chamber for 3 months before I moved here in July of 2019. So I've been here for 4.5 years.
Fantastic. Fantastic. Thank you. All right, Nikki Albright.
All right, my name is Nikki Albright, obviously. A job title, I work with Aflac. I know many of you have heard of the company, but I've been with Aflac for 16 years. Job title is kind of a lot of everything, but the focus, I like the word focus. Thank you, Jim. So focusing on helping small businesses and individuals with preparing for those unexpected things, for business solutions and whatnot. So I've been a chamber member since first met you, Junie, in 2019, beginning of 2020, but then kind of COVID. But an actual member since I believe 2022 till now.
Fantastic.
And moving forward. So
Cool. Thank you, Nikki. Make sure you guys put your information in the chat. Karen. Go ahead and unmute yourself, Karen.
I'm trying.
There you
okay,
go.
there it goes. Yeah, I just did an update, how it automatically, and it's messing around today. So anyway, I'm Karen Coons, and I'm with Park Lane Jewelry Company out of Chicago. And I'm a stylist with them for the last 3 years. I've been in direct sales since 2011, but a member of the chamber since 2014. So
Fantastic. Thank you, Karen. Selena.
Hello, nice to meet you guys. My name is Selena Gonzalez. I'm the director of sales at the Pacific Inn Hotel in Seal Beach, very close by Main Street.
Awesome.
Yeah, so we've been a chamber member for I think about 4 years, but I'm new to this. I think I really have like a month in. I'm like so far. Also, we do have a Seal Beach Chamber discount code in case anybody doesn't know. It's 30% off. So if you're ever interested in hotels, it's 30% off for everybody.
Oh, we got to talk about that. We should put that on our Shop, Eat, Play for this weekend.
Oh, perfect. Yes.
All right. Before we get off, let's make sure we get you on our Shopee Play. Brandy, let's make sure we get her on Shopee Play vendor site.
Yeah,
Right.
perfect.
Thank you, Selena, for joining us. George.
Yeah.
Hey, everybody. Company name is Seal Beach Living. My name is George Banker, publisher of a new magazine that goes to everybody in Seal Beach and a lot of surrounding areas. We've done 4 publications so far. I'm the new ambassador chairman for the chamber, and I've been a chamber member this round 2 years.
Awesome. What do you mean this round?
Well, I was on the chamber and on the board back from maybe 2006 to 2011, where I ran membership and summer concert
wow.
series.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize that. All right.
Cool.
Well, I think Darren wants to replace his position sometime for the summer concert series, just FYI. All right, Diana, go ahead. You need to unmute. Are you able to unmute?
Okay.
There
Yeah,
you
my iPad flipped over, so sorry.
Okay.
Hi, everyone. My name is Diana Bean. I have been a chamber member since 2011. Very active in the chamber. Love our community. I love this whole idea. This is great. We do these things in our business, but I am a health and wellness coach with Optavia. I'm an independent health coach, and no, I don't sell diets. I help people create optimal health and healthy body, healthy mind, and healthy lifestyle. So that's what I do. Sorry.
Fantastic. Great. Thank you. All right. So one of the reasons why I also wanted to start doing the Centers of Influence and Mastermind group is one of the things I realized is that a lot of our members kind of fail to actually promote themselves, right? And one of the things they're gonna when I do my presentation on referral systems, we'll talk about a tagline I like to use all the time. Karen hears this all the time from me, and so does Diana. The fortune's in the follow-up, right? And this is why we're going to share everyone's information later, because the fortune's always in the follow-up, right? So one of the things I want to be able to take out from this group is to be able to, leave with something on every week that we could probably use in our business, right? Because like I said, every one of you has something that you can share. So, so at this point, what I'd like to do is go around the Zoom call here, and let's talk about some of our most recent successes that you might have had in your business. So for me, the most recent success is, as a matter of fact, he just left my office. We have built a real. I just had a client who just left our office, and he wanted home and auto. If you don't know what's going on in the insurance business, it's been really tough for both home and auto carriers. But he found us online and realized that we had a really good rating. We had a 5.0 rating with over close to 200 reviewers on Google, right? So, and we've built that over the last 3.5 years through a system that we utilize here in the office. And so, when he left, I was like, man, that's a good success story, to be able to have those Google reviews. He's from Long Beach, and he found a whole bunch of other brokers that he could have gone to, but he came to us, and we normally are not in the office on Wednesdays, but I just happened to be here today because of this call. So thank God I was here, because I was able to sit down with him and work through a quote for him. So that's one of my successes. Anybody?
I'll go. I'm sorry, go ahead, sir.
I recently completed my first video that I did in conjunction with my marketing organization for Medicare. It's called Bridalwood Agency. So that's actually live now. I'm going to post the link so everybody can see it. So I'm proud of it. It was good first stab, and I intend to do a lot more. I also started making posts on TikTok.
Oh, awesome.
And it was kind of extemporaneous. I just walked around and said, I'm going to just go for it. I got like 900 likes.
Wow.
Or views. So
wow.
I was surprised by that. So
that's awesome.
Yeah, so I'm going to definitely exploit that. But I'm working on really fine tuning my marketing strategy and being more visible, because I found that more people know me as a photographer than as a insurance provider. So I need
That's
to fix
interesting.
that.
Yeah, that is
So
interesting.
Yeah. So I'm going to post the link in the chat right now, but I'm pretty pleased with the result, and there'll be a lot more to come.
Oh, would love to see it. Thank you.
Right.
Thank you.
How many of them in this country, Scott?
Pardon?
How many of those 900 are in this country?
I don't know.
I've been waiting.
No, the fact is you got started. I've been wanting to do that for like the last 6 years now. And I just haven't done it. So. Anyone else? Who's next?
I'll tell you a little story.
All right, go ahead.
I got a phone call from a woman recently, and she confirmed it was on my cell phone. She confirmed, "Is this Jim Better?" And I said, "Yes, I am." And she said, "I've been trying to find you for 3 months." And I'm thinking, okay, what is this all about? Because you may not remember me, and I had to admit that I didn't remember her. But she reminded me that I had met her when she was 25 years old. It was quite some time ago. And I was new in the insurance business. And when you're new in the insurance business, you sell a policy, get a commission, and move on to the next one. But I talked with her, and I could sense that she was 25 years old. She had a great job as a publishing company in Boston, single, and she was living a good life of a young single woman in the city. But I said, your income supports everything that you do, and you should really have some protection, a disability income policy for your income. So, she was 25 years old. Come on, who needs it at 25 years old? But she talked to her father, and her dad said that she probably should have it. So we completed a contract, and then she moved on, and I moved on, and kind of lost track of each other. Now here she is on my phone, and she said she had to find me, and she had to thank me. And I'm thinking, what are you thanking me for? She says, "Jim, what you didn't know was 6 years after we concluded that disability contract, I came down with multiple sclerosis."
Oh, wow.
And, we had, it was a 2-income household. We had 2 children now with a mortgage. And you need to know that disability income policy has helped sustain my family for the last 20 years.
Oh, wow.
Oh, man, every time I tell a story, I get goosebumps. And so
Wow.
that's people say, "Why don't you retire, Jim?" No, I can't retire, man. There's too many people out there who are going to have her story. And I
That's
want to be
awesome.
part of it.
That is awesome. Very cool. Thank you,
Love
Jim,
that.
for sharing that. That's really cool.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, like I say, that's really that, and my mother's experience with long-term care drives me.
Yeah. Yeah. That's why you're in business. That's the sole purpose of being in business,
That's right.
So.
That's right, to help people.
And real quick, I slipped my mind. I'm so sorry, but Brandy, real quick, can you give us an introduction of who you are, your company, and then your job title?
My name is Brandy. My company is the Seal Beach Chamber of Commerce, and I am the new McKinsey, the new director. So if you need anything, reach out.
Right.
Any successes for you in this last week?
I think that I'm just surviving and doing it is a success so far. Just learning everything.
Well, thank you and welcome aboard, by the way.
Thank you.
That's definitely a victory, just surviving.
Yeah.
I'm so glad.
Yeah, and I think we had a really good first board meeting because of you last night. So thank you so much.
Oh, great.
You.
So,
can I just quickly to remind Brandy that I remember when you were subbing for Mackenzie, and I thought, she's sharp. I wish she didn't have to leave. And I'm so delighted that you're back. And I think you're really a great fit. And I wish you all the success in the world.
Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate that.
All right. Anybody else on the successes? Colonel, I think you had one earlier.
Yeah, I just shipped out one of my air purifiers to a gentleman in Pennsylvania. And the interesting part of my business is that if you don't see what I'm doing, I don't make many sales. Fortunately, my referrals have sustained my business for the last 25 years. And that's where I kind of have a difficulty with chambers is simply because I can tell you I do air and water purification systems, but I can tell you there's a lot of air and water purification systems out there. So I'm lumped in with everybody else. But in fact, I stand alone. And probably that's the reason why it's more difficult to understand what I do. Because, for example, if you have an air purifier in your home, everything that comes into your home, all the bad air and stuff, has to go through the machine to do anything. And only a small percentage of that goes into the machine. However, with the machine that I offer, it goes out into the atmosphere of your home and destroys the bad air, smells, odors, mold, all those viruses. And this is the same technology that was cleared by the Food and Drug Administration to reduce the COVID virus by 99.9% in 3 minutes. We have sold over 6 million of these products worldwide.
So, Colonel, tell us about your success this week.
Well, that's what
and you have a great
success
product.
was.
Oh,
That's what I did. I sold the air purifier.
oh,
I went
fantastic!
to
And how did you get
why I
this
did it.
client? How did you get this client?
It was a referral.
Oh,
That's what I'm
fantastic!
saying. It was the challenge is of course getting my challenge, which is what you asked for, is for people to understand what I do, and unless the chamber members understand what I do.
Well, let me ask you this question: How you said you sold it in Pennsylvania? How were you successful in selling it to him in Pennsylvania? Considering that it's hard for you to show him what you do. What did you do to get him in Pennsylvania?
It was a referral.
Okay.
In other words, my business is sustained so far for 25 years primarily by referrals.
Fantastic. And then, so how did you wind up doing the presentation with him?
I sent him a video of the technology, and he said, "Oh, send it to me," and that's what happened.
So you actually sent him the unit to use?
No, I sent him a video. I have technology proof all over the internet. I sent him a video, and he looked at it and said, "Oh my God, does this do that?" And I said, "Sure, check it. And if you don't like it after 3 to 5 days or 30 days, send it back, and I'll give you all your money back." Well, I haven't got one back, but one in 25 years.
So sharing the video, money back guarantee, right? Because obviously I think you're one of few retailers or product sales here, right? So, and it's hard for us to do money back guarantees on an insurance policy, right? Yeah, but sure. That's the neat thing is you have, I'm taking that back. Karen's also a retailer, right? So video, money back guarantee, and what else that made this sale?
Money back guarantee, primarily the video and the money back guarantee. But in addition to that, I give people a gift just to try my product.
Okay, so, and a gift. Yeah.
And a gift to try it, yeah.
Awesome. So you see what his successes are there, right? And the reason why I want to focus on this is because there might be things that he's doing that we could probably utilize in our business that we never thought about, right? You know, so, I mean, I don't know, Karen, like, do you have a money back guarantee with your jewelry company?
Yes, we have a time limit, and then
sure,
but we have an incredible guarantee that goes along for the life of the jewelry. We'll do a replacement if that's not. I won't go into the whole thing, but it's the most incredible return exchange thing I've seen in direct sales in the 3 companies I've worked with.
You have to have that in direct sales. There has to be some form of money back guarantee, especially like, you know, the Colonel's dealing with somebody in Pennsylvania and he's out here in California. I mean, that's incredible that you can make a sale that far, right? You know, at least for me, I think that's really good, you know, so especially if you have that kind of outreach, you know.
Yeah. Made sales in Tokyo.
Oh, see, there you go. So he can reach out worldwide, which is awesome, you know. What about you, Karen? What type of successes have you had in the last week?
Well, I laugh because those of you that know me, my personal life is just so upside down right now with my sister who had the double lung transplant, and then of course with other things that I'm going through. But with the death of my son, there's still things evolving from that. So trying to sustain my virtual business, and I'll say virtual because in 3 years I've done all of my presentations virtually. The top 2 people in our team that are selling like over $20,000 of jewelry a month have done it virtually. So that's how I'm able to be successful with what I'm doing so far. However, I do have 2 live events this week, including the sidewalk sale. This will be the first weekend I've done that. So
Awesome. Awesome.
Yeah.
And it doesn't have to be it doesn't have to be a sale, right? Like for Scott, just getting that video done is a big success for him, because who knows where that's going to bring him, right? It's going to probably bring him, viewership and then a referral somewhere down the line, So, and I know your challenges, and it's, but if you could just do that one little thing, that's going to probably propel you to the next big success. I think that's important, So, Selena, anything in your end? Any successes for you?
Yes, actually today I was able to get a big account at a UC. So it's like 3 large, but it's like a sports group. It's a badminton team. Yeah, so they already booked 3 groups for 2024, and they're like 30 rooms for like 5 days. So I'm like, wow, that's intense.
And how did you get that?
I recently there was a basketball tournament that they I think it was UC Davis. They played Cal State Long Beach.
Okay.
So because they had a great stay with us, they recommended it to their badminton team, and they're staying with us. So it's exciting.
Oh, that's awesome! Congratulations.
Thank you.
Awesome. Anybody else have some successes they want to talk about?
Yeah, Junie, I'll say one. Friday and yesterday, I actually had 2 people kind of approach me and purchase ads in my magazine. So they both said, it's due to, we've seen you around the last couple months. You're at everything. You're out networking. We see you on social media. We see you all over town. And they just said, I want to be kind of attached to you. And it was kind of felt good. And they're like, we see everything you're doing around town and trying to promote local business and stuff like that. So it's kind of my first wins where people kind of have come to me, and said, hey, I see what you're doing, and we see that your magazine is going to be successful. We've seen your first 4 publications, and we want to be kind of a part of it. But it was kind of good to feel that I'm not out there always having to press everybody to say, hey, the magazine's great. It's got a lot of great buzz, and they kind of said, hey, I want to be a part, and felt good to see that people kind of recognize that.
Yeah. And that's the neat thing about George is that, you make everybody feel good, when you interact with them, right? You're not like pushing, hey, buy an ad in my magazine, and you're not that type of sales. You're a true relationships person, and eventually people just go, you know what, I really want to do business with that guy. It's almost like, they slowly kind of like, you slowly embed in them somehow, so it's kind of neat. So congratulations on that. But
Thanks.
Diane or Nikki, do you guys have anything you want to share?
Yeah, so you just hit the nail on the head too. It's like building relationships, and that's what we're in the business for, most of us, right? That, people want to work with people they like and they want to work with. So with me, it's kind of like well, I was going to share a cancer story as well. This person who had the cancer plan with Aflac for many, many years was recently diagnosed with breast cancer. And she filed her first claim, and it's ongoing. So now she reaches out to me and says hello, even though back then, like I'm talking 10 years ago, she didn't know that she would need this, right? But I also started doing handwritten notes to existing clients.
Awesome.
And it's kind of like that personal touch. And so I've been doing that differently. And I had one of my clients reach out, hey, can you come and see my employees? Come and see my new employees. I have one that wants to enroll right now.
Yeah.
So and that it doesn't mean we have to do 5 million a week. It could be 5, you know what I'm saying? So it's like those handwritten things. I've been focusing on that, and it's worked out. Because yeah, we can send emails all day, we can call all day, but it's just something different.
Yeah.
It's kind of what I've been doing.
Yeah, no, we do handwritten notes here in the office for referrals. So if we get a referral, whether or not we close them, we send them we send the referral $10 gift card, and then we also send them a handwritten note. Now it's not in my handwriting because my handwriting is chicken scratch. My business manager, our office manager does that. So, but it's really cool because they get it, and then they just, they're very appreciative of that, and that's really a good marketing tool, Diana, I know you've got a success here somewhere.
I was listening to Scott, and when he was saying he just got out on TikTok and that, and I've been kind of ghosting, Facebook and Instagram and that. I was on it a lot, and just posting things and not really strategically doing anything, because I don't strategically plan things. I need to do better with that. But it's procrastination. So I know that Nikki and I've been talking, and Nikki Muller, and she's been bugging me to do social media and that. So I'm relaunching, or not procrastinating, I'm putting together the revamping of my Facebook and that, and my coaching Facebook, private Facebook page. So that'll be relaunching in a couple of weeks. And it's getting out of this, doing it scared. Our mentorship always tells us, you know, you need to do things and do it scared. It's okay to get out there and do it if you're not afraid. Pop it out there. Who cares if your hair is perfect or if you're that? So that's been a big deal for me. I don't get myself out there for my business very much. I just like being in the community and doing that. And so I'm having to take these steps to rethink my business comes first. Like you said, introduce yourself before that. And it's things we know, but we just don't put them in place. And we have a great community for that. So, you know, that's my success, I think, for me, is being able to do that and launch and get it, actually do the action steps to move it forward. And I do thank you notes. I've been doing thank you notes forever. And to Nikki's point, and I do them, like if I see somebody in the Sun newspaper and they won an award or they got something, I'll cut it out and then I'll put it in the note and say congratulations and send it out. And I've done that forever. You know, they appreciate it. I just think any more people like to have that little touch and know that you really do care about them. So
and your video doesn't have to be perfect, right, Scott? I mean, the video doesn't have to be perfect. I mean, it's just get it out there, you know, and you know,
they never are.
Yeah, they never are. Just
Especially
get
mine.
it started, you know. So, all right. So let's move on. Let's talk about our challenges. I heard a few challenges. You know, Karen has, you know, some personal challenges of her own. The Colonel has these challenges about getting, you know, people to see his product. Talk to me about some of the challenges you have, other than time, because we all have the same amount of time, right? I mean, procrastination is one of them, right? And then, but we all have the same amount of time, right? We have the same amount of seconds in a day. It's just a matter of how we all use it. I know for me, you know, when I get home, there's times where I'm just tired. I got to get second wind to get back online and do other things, right? But tell me some about your challenges that you might have that's maybe keeping you from getting to that next level.
Also, I think like with what Colonel was saying, and it happens to all of us too, that we're not strategic or specific enough to explain just a few seconds what we do, what we're looking for in that. And I know for me it is, because, you know, everybody asks, what do you do? And they think I do a diet, and I don't. That's a byproduct. People don't want to know the intrinsic, and sometimes I call it puking on people. So
yeah, vomiting your information.
And then not
we call it barflack.
Yeah. So I think for me, getting people to know what I do is a challenge, because I don't talk about it. I don't have business cards, because that's not how we do our business. We do it differently. But I need to challenge myself to be better at explaining in a second, or saying, hey, let's sit down for coffee or something, and let me just share with you, or ask somebody like the Colonel. I could ask him, you know, hey, let's figure out how we can better help each other. Tell our story, tell what we do in a, you know, your elevator speech, or just in a conversation where you're not going into too much depth. I don't know how to do that anymore. I've kind of lost my touch with what I do, and I love what I do, and I'm successful with it, but not as quite.
I also think too, like, you know, you have, when you come to a chamber event, you have a lot going on. You're not just there network, but you also are probably working the event. And this is probably where a business card can come in handy for you. You know? So because then that could give you the little bits of information that, you know, somebody needs to know about you, you know. So it may not be the way you normally would do business, but sometimes that might be the best way for you to do business, you know. A business card, you know. Like you said, you don't want to vomit all over everybody about what you do, you know, because that's what the follow-up is for, right?
Yeah.
You know, so
and not
so
doing
think about that, you know.
And not doing a follow-up either, Junie. That is too, like, you grab cards and then you don't actually do it right away, and some are very good at it. George is like you and George are doing it, because I know he follows up, like, he doesn't let anything go by.
Yeah.
And that's just being a good steward of what you're saying. So yeah, so that was my challenge.
Any other challenges?
Well,
Go ahead.
I could jump in real quick, say, you can't really see it, but I made a list of the things I need to do every week, and
Uh-huh.
it's like 20 things. That's 5
Yep.
days, so trying to divide up, do 4 per day or however it might work. But one challenge, and then I think maybe we could involve the group with this,
Yeah.
is through working with the marketing director at the Medicare agency. He's really big on using Google. And
Okay.
he's showed me that if you have Google reviews and the magic number is 50, that your presence, you're much more likely to be found like on the first page of Google in a Google search. So you need to optimize your Google presence, which is a thing you do.
Yeah.
And then start accumulating reviews. And I would recommend that groups like this, we can have just work out to say, hey, I'm going to send you a review request. Send me one. We'll each do a review for each other.
Correct.
And then do them so that it's not like
Inundated.
off the algorithms, but
Yeah.
organically. And that's a great way that we could all have success by helping each other. And
Yeah.
maybe
No, that's
take
a great
an
idea.
hour,
To do a review
hour or
for each
2 hours
other.
a week to do that.
Yeah, no, that's actually a really good idea. So one of the things that we do in our office is we use a system called Check It, and it's basically it's basically a texting service, right? So I could text directly from my desk. But one of the things we use this for, so if you see on the screen right now, this is what Check It looks like, right? But I could send somebody a template, like a review invitation. So it says, Hi, Scott. Thanks for choosing Swell Insurance Solutions. Can you take 30 seconds to leave a quick review? So we do this with every client that we talk to, and then with every customer service call that we do, So that's why we get so many reviews, because we ask for it. We actually ask all of our clients to do this review. So I recommend that you look at a service like Check It or some other service. Maybe it's through Constant Contact or anything that you might could use out there. There's a bunch of them out there. But they all lead to either Google review or Facebook review. We used to do Yelp a lot, but then you get that phone call from Yelp trying to push you to buy their advertising, and we noticed that every time we said no, our reviews were hidden all of a sudden. So, but I know with Google we have a ton of reviews with Swell Insurance, so and we use that a lot. We always ask for reviews, just like you're talking about.
So check it.
Currently, we have 149 Google reviews. So
that's awesome.
Yeah. So yeah, definitely, it's a good place to be. So,
Huh.
Any other challenges?
I've got a challenge.
Sure.
I suck at closing.
Suck at closing. Okay. By the way, I like your office. It's so clean. It's like OCD back there.
Mr. Clean.
That's virtual. That's not really his office.
So what about closing? What about closing that you think you suck?
Okay, because I really feel strongly about that long-term care is critical for family health.
Okay.
And I don't know, 9 out of 10 people said, yeah, you're right. And then you do an email or you do a phone call or maybe have lunch, and then they disappear. They stop responding, and I'm thinking, okay, what's different? What's wrong with the message that people won't take the next step to do what's obviously in their best interest?
Yeah.
I run across a lot of disability cases. Like this morning, I spoke with a fellow who's got a nice business. He's 36 years old. He's got about 8 employees and 6 children with 1 on the way. And he has no disability income insurance. And I'm saying, WTF, come on, George. His name wasn't George, I used his name. But you got to fix this, do something. And Vicky, I'm going to turn him on to you, or Nikki, I'm going to turn him on to you. Because if nothing else, he could get some Aflac and to cover his own income. But that's where my challenge is to I want to shake them and say, you have no idea how important what this message, how important it is for you and your family. But I don't shake them, and I guess maybe that's what I have to do is become a little more forceful in making sure that they understand the consequences of not taking care of their personal safety net.
May I ride on Jim a little bit?
With that?
Can I speak based on what Jim just said?
Yeah, sure.
I have my granddaughter is 6 years old. My son is very successful, doing well, healthy, young, and think he's going to live forever. But I know that's not the case. So I gave him an ultimatum. I said, here's the deal. I want to see an insurance policy on your life for my granddaughter. And if you don't do that, then everything that I own will go directly to my granddaughter and pass through you. Now, I mean, that's a little aggressive, I know, but the importance of insurance, I've always realized it. My son and my daughter, for me, I wrote an insurance policy on myself a long time ago, and I even wrote a legal insurance policy for both my son and daughter, because everything that happens to them, if they can't handle it, it's going to pass up to me. So I'm a firm believer in insurance. Somebody told me once I should have been an insurance salesman. I said, maybe not, I don't know. But anyway, sir, keep pushing it because everybody needs what you're selling.
Yeah, like you said, it might not be the right time right now. Maybe it's not. I don't know. Maybe it's just timing. I pulled this out. I stepped away just to pull this up. This is a great book. It's called Make the Sale Happen Before Lunch. It's by Stephen Schiffman. He's written a lot of other good books, like cold calling techniques that really work. But Make the Sale Happen Before Lunch by Stephen Schiffman. Really good book. What he's talking about is before lunchtime, what can you do to get done to make this next sale happen? So I don't like to close on people. I like to get them to the next step. And that's what he talks about in this book, is how to get your client to the next step, right? So if you already met with them, what is the next step after that? And in taking those steps, you should have like a commitment for the next meeting, get them to a commitment on what they need to do, so really closing is not about, and then, you always see like these sales closing pitches and the technique to get to a close. And honestly, there are no number of steps. I've closed on clients that took me 2 or 3 years to get their business, right? Yeah. There are times where I've had business where I've just walked away from it because I said, this is not the time, for us to be able to do business, for whatever reason, There's a local restaurant down the street here, and I'm not going to mention a name, that's our client, also a chamber member. I didn't close on them. My boss did, because I passed it over to her because I knew that the person that we were dealing with was going to deal better with her than with me. And it's just about getting to the next step, Jim, and just figuring out what that next step might be, because it may not be closing yet, and it could be as strong as maybe like the Colonel said, as giving them that ultimatum. Look, you need this because of this, right? You just need to figure out what that is for this particular individual, because I'm sure you're a good closer. You just need to figure out how you close and how to get this person to the next step.
Yeah, that's a good point. Is get to the next step. Closing it happens automatically. Get to the ultimate conclusion.
Or what about the stories? Stories of people that didn't have long-term care, or the people that you just shared that did have the disability that needed it. Because people, like what if you didn't have this in the future? It's just like I'm in the industry too. There's certain plans where they don't enroll in until they get older, but that does happen to people like when they're younger too, like the cancer plan. Like their child was diagnosed with cancer. We don't know that's going to happen, but we all get older. We're all going to pass. Have to have some kind of care of some type, right? So maybe stories. We teach our teams all the time about stories. Gets their emotions involved with it.
Yeah.
Like, oh my gosh, I don't want to have my parents dealing with that, or I can't deal with that. Whatever the verbiage is, but I think stories help too.
Yeah, stories help.
Yeah. I can help you with stories.
Yeah, you got some stories, Karen.
I have some real life stories for you.
Yeah.
Where it would have been helpful for them to have insurance for sure. Yeah. So now they're dependent on the family. Yeah.
There's always a saying, or I have a saying that one of my mentors told me a long time ago. You can't say the right thing to the wrong person or the wrong thing to the right person. So sometimes it comes to, they either have to be open to what you're offering or they're not. And it has nothing to do with nothing. They just aren't ready. So, I've used that so much when I go in, because it's disappointing when you know somebody not could use your service, but needs the service. And the stories help with, your grandkids or however for your life, getting healthier. If you don't have insurance, if you don't have all that stuff, and they have to be in the right spot. So I always say you can't say the right thing to the wrong person or the wrong thing to the right person. They're either going to be ready or they're not going to be ready. And sometimes we fret over those people that are not ready, and we want them to be, and we know we can help them and our emotions get in it, but we miss out on the people that are really ready for us. So, we have to kind of think about that. Do you keep going after the same people, or do you move on and just keep them in your, in your tickler or whatever and follow up with them? But it's, it's just
going along with that, Diana, another phrase is working with the willing.
Yeah.
That is so true.
Yeah. You can pour everything into one person and all
So
this other
true.
stuff going by your passing you by.
Yeah.
It's like pushing
On
a rope.
on the insurance side of it, I always say it's better to have it and not need it than to need it and not have it. I've said that for so many years.
Insurance is about the only company in America that doesn't really fail either. I mean, if you're gonna bank on somebody, insurance companies are probably the best place to put your bank.
Well, people don't think about what they need on anything until they need it. I always say in the health industry, they're going to the doctor and the doctor's saying they need to get healthy. If you don't get healthy, you're going to die. And until they get life-threatening information, they're not thinking about their health until then. And we're all trying to get them, everything that we all do is trying to better their life before they need the service that you offer. And it's frustrating. It's frustrating.
All right, so let's move on. Wants and needs. So this is something we used to actually do in a group that I belong to, and it's basically asking people, letting people know, what are your wants and needs. So for me, right now I'm focusing a lot on workers' compensation. So I'm looking for clients that need workers' comp. They have employees, maybe 5 or more would be ideal for me. That's what I'm looking for. So if you know anybody that, if you know a business that needs workers' comp, or they're looking to shop their workers' comp, let them know about me. Connect them with me. Scott, what are your wants and needs right now?
Well, I'm always looking for people that are turning 64, because they're going to be barraged with marketing materials in the upcoming year, and I can help them, give them the information they need, and have them make an informed decision. So, for anybody who needs to change their Medicare for whatever reason, or moving out of state, we can still do it. So that's my focus right now.
Cool. Nikki, what are your wants and needs?
So I'm looking for small business or any size business, 3 or more, for business owners that are willing to at least set some time to listen to what Aflac does. I know that sometimes they can get bombarded on calls from random people, and so they shut down, and they're busy business owners, right? And so that's what I'm looking for. And then also individuals that are willing to just listen. And if it's not for them, it's not for them.
Are there any specific businesses you'd like to focus on, in like industry-wise, coffee shops or anything like that?
It really, honestly, for me, I've worked with so many different kinds. There's no specific one. We work with all businesses as long as I have a business license and all that, and 3 or more employees, because it doesn't just help the employees, it helps the business owners with profitability, reducing the exposure to workers' comp. Maybe Junie, you and I can work together.
Definitely.
But there's just clients that just to have that time with them. I mean, again, if it's not right now, maybe it could be later, but it's just
Right.
setting those appointments. And my focus is growing my book of business and meeting with and growing new clients, whether that be businesses or individuals.
George, what are your wants and needs?
If anybody knows any business owners, decision makers for bigger companies that are trying to build their brand kind of in and around Seal Beach, I know I've met with most of you guys and showed you the program, and some people are not now, but maybe later. So that's cool with me. I just like to show more people the magazine and how it's kind of growing and building, and I know some people will come around, as I've seen in the last couple of days. So I was thinking I wanted to have a contact at Boeing, at the Navy base. I saw a couple of those guys at the board, so maybe I'll have an avenue to go through there. I don't know if they're the right decision makers for that, but if anybody has any ideas or knows anybody that's a decision maker at a medium or bigger company, or thinks it would help their business, I'd appreciate the introduction or the referral.
Yeah, that definitely Carlton and Greg are good people to talk to. You should definitely connect with them.
Cool. Yeah, I didn't want to bombard them on the first time I met them. Just wanted to kind of say hello to both of them and get to know them a little bit, and then.
Yeah, give them a magazine. I'm sure they'd appreciate you just handing them a magazine.
Okay, I will do that.
Colonel, what are your wants and needs?
I'm just looking for people who have allergies, hay fever, mold in their homes, or want to find out if they have mold in their homes, have pets in their homes, or if they're looking to make some extra income. I can help them meet all of those requirements.
Awesome. Okay. And any specific age group or area? Location?
Mostly adults, but over the age of, I've got, for example, people in my organization that's 18 years old, 19 years old. I've got some that's 83, I think. The oldest is 85, who's a doctor. So anybody who feel like they want to get involved in the health and wellness industry and make money doing it. Health and wellness is today's wealth. There's no question about it. So, and that's why you guys sell insurance. You know that already, a lot of people.
All right, cool. Jim, what are your wants and needs?
Okay, I'm the people who are most receptive to the message of the need to prepare for end of life planning are the adult children who have aging parents and have their own children. They put the mom and dad into a home care or assisted living or nursing home care and hit between the eyes with the complexity of the healthcare industry for elder people. And then what the cost is. That's the category, that's the primary category of people who are interested in what I have to tell them. The other primary category are single women who have children and don't want to end up being a burden to those children.
Oh, wow.
And are looking to fund their long-term care expenses so that they can relieve their children of what they perhaps have gone to with their own families.
So single women that are single mothers as well.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Cool. Diana, what are your wants and needs?
My wants and needs are, I would like to be introduced to anyone. Well, there's a couple of things. In the insurance, if there's insurance people on this call, those that have been turned down for insurance because they have diabetes or high blood pressure or anything like that, I usually used to get referrals from that so that they can qualify for the insurance. I'd like to have 5 people just find out a little bit more about their health. So anybody that's looking to diet that you hear about, everybody's got friends and family that want to do that. I'd love to have a chat with them. I have a health assessment, a little link that they can do, and it comes to me, and there's no, if it's a fit, it's a fit. If it's not, it's not. And business lunch and learn. So a lot of the businesses that have health expos and stuff, I want to be introduced to those so that I can do a lunch and learn at any of those.
Okay, cool. And Selena, what are your wants and needs?
Yeah, so to get the more exposure for the hotel, we're known as like the hidden gem, Seal Beach, best kept secret. No one really knows about it. So definitely get more exposures, promote more staycations for locals. That's why we wanted to do that 30% off for everybody. Just to gain more business and then build relationships that you guys had mentioned.
Mayberry by the sea.
Yeah. Selena, do you have a meeting room? Do you have a meeting room at the Pacific Inn?
No, we do not.
Yeah.
All right. Somebody asked me that the other day, so now that you're on, I wanted to ask you.
Did you guys know that Mayberry by the Sea, that most of them, it was successful only because most of them were all single? The only one married was the town drunk. Just FYI. Think about it, you know.
Thank you for that.
The
info.
sheriff was single, Barney Fife was single,
Single? Yeah.
all of them were single. That's why Mayberry by the Sea worked out. All right, I'm going to go through my presentation real quick on building a referral marketing network, and I'm going to give you homework at the end of this, and hopefully it's going to help you guys out. Okay.
I gotta get my pin.
Fortunately, I have a sharp cutoff at 1, so.
Sure. Okay. I'll go through this as quickly as I can. All right. And then, all right. So, there's really 3 ways to earn money, right? And first thing you need to find out though is who's your ideal client. So a lot of us have talked about that. You know, find out who your ideal client is. And the reason why that's important is because if you don't know who your ideal client is, you're just going to go pick at random, right? And you're going to attract any client that's going to come into your pipeline, and you don't want that. I actually walked away from a client yesterday because insurance wasn't important to her. How do I know that? This was her first time buying insurance for her business since 2002 when she first started her business, right? And when the only reason why she's buying it is because one of her clients requires her to have it, you know, to cover her product. Okay, so I walked away from it, you know, because I knew that this is not a client I wanted, because at some point in time this client is going to be trouble to me, right? I didn't want it, so I totally told her, go for the other guy's quote that you already have. Is what I actually told her, right? So identify your client, right? And then find out who your referral sources are. Okay, so that's what we're going to talk about here. We're going to talk about your referral sources. And then we're going to talk about reviving dead leads and then asking for referrals. Okay. All right. There's only 3 ways to earn money, right? You get more clients, right? So like for me, every month I'm trying to find more new clients. You upsell. Now, if you're I don't know, Colonel, what you have in the retail business, but maybe you have, you know, other attachments that you could put up into this sale. Maybe there's a 2-for-1 pricing that will get you more income, right? The same with you, Karen, right? For me, I'm going to bundle maybe home and auto, right? Or if I do somebody's commercial general liability, I'm also going to ask for their workers' comp, their EPLI, right? So we're going to upsell. You know, you go to McDonald's, you buy a hamburger. What do they ask you? You want to make that a combo, right? So that's the second way to earn more money. And the third is repeat customers, right? In my business, we call that residual income, right? So every 6 months or every year, that policy is going to renew itself. Okay, and we need to keep that. We need to keep on, you know, getting those people to be repeat customers, right? It's a little bit harder in retail, right? Because especially if you have a big item ticket, right? No, but not really. If you buy a car, hopefully 3 years from now, that person's going to come back and buy another car from you, right? Karen, you know, every holiday, right? Somebody's going to probably want to buy from your store, for instance. Okay, so repeat customers. I know George has repeat customers because he has clients that are under contract, right? So finding repeat customers, 3 ways. I mean, 3 ways to earn money: get more clients, upsell, or repeat customers, right? All right. So with Selena, it's really about, you know, getting those same clients. If they know there's going to be basketball tournaments over here at AIM Sportsplex, she's going to try to get them to stay at her hotel every time there's a basketball tournament. All right. Who is your ideal client? Does the client understand what you do? Somebody said it earlier, right? This client didn't understand what I did. So, you know, sometimes if they don't know what you do, for instance, if they don't know the importance of insurance, like in my case, then I'm probably not going to deal with that client, you know, because in the long run, they probably don't believe in the product. Okay. They got to believe in the product. Long-term or short-term. Is this client for you going to be a long-term client or a short-term client? Okay. And if it's a short-term client, how much value are you going to get out of it? Is your client coachable, right? Sometimes I get a client and they just, you know, they think they, you know, they don't understand anything about insurance and they just, you know, they want to tell me what they need. Okay. I'm like, wait a minute, aren't I the insurance professional here? You know, so you got to be able to coach your client, right? You know, so, and also what's the long-term value of this client? You know, do they have a long-term value? You could put a number on them, right? In my case, if they have home, auto, and maybe a business, and I know they're going to be a long-term client for me, so I'm going to probably get every one of their policies over the course of time. Okay. So sometimes you might get a client and all they want is to spend like in my case, renter's insurance, which is $125. I make about $2 off of it. Right. But I know that they have, as we go through questions, I know they have their own business. I know they have kids. Right. So over time, this person might be worth the value in the long run. Okay. Who do you want to work with? So before you start speaking to your family and friends, make a list of characteristics of the type of individual that you want to work with. Because if you get somebody that all they do is complain, guess what? You're going to attract more referrals of people that complain, right? And those are the people you don't want, right? You want to work with A-type clients that fit the characteristics of what you want, right? So the same thing goes like in the hotel business, right? You want to attract a certain breed of client, right? And that way they're not, destroying your building or destroying your rooms. All right. So identify that ideal client. Okay. Who are your referral sources? Here's the thing. I learned this a long time ago. You only need 2 referral sources and that will grow over time. Okay. Your families and friends, your acquaintances, your existing clients are your good source. Social media, Scott talked earlier about creating the videos, right? Those are your referral sources. Social media or even Google, doing reviews. The reviews are actual referrals for you, and when you think about it, the more of those reviews you get, the higher your placement is, people can find you easily. And when they read those reviews, those are instant referrals. Does that make sense? Those testimonials are instant referrals. Your competition right now in my business, I know that State Farm, Allstate, Farmers, and a few other carriers cannot do commercial insurance right now. They're not writing new business. So guess who they're sending it to? I get a lot of State Farm referrals. I got 3 yesterday because they can't write the business. So, and my deal with them is, look, I won't touch your other lines of business that you can write, right? I'll just write what you can't write. That makes sense? But my competition actually gives me business as well. Professionals, right? I work with property managers. I work with accountants, CPAs. I work with a bookkeeper in Oregon who gives me workers' comp referrals, right? And good size ones too, right? Ancillary vendors. These are the vendors that you work with, right? That can possibly give you leads. So for instance, Colonel, if you sell a unit to a doctor's office, right? He probably has other vendors or other offices that he works with that can also use your same product. Okay. Yep. Yep. The same goes with George, right? George, you might have a client that is a realtor, but what about their insurance agent that they work with? What about the mortgage companies that they work with? Ask them about those people as well. Okay. Networking organizations like chambers, right? That's another source that you could use for referral sources, right? All right. Okay. So revive dead leads. So take notes on this. Today, you guys can find some leads, and you can find them very easily. I do this on a regular basis once a month. Okay. Now, how many of you guys here have been in business for more than 3 years? Right? Just raise your hand, right? You're more in business for 3 years. Okay. So now let's think about just in the last 36 months. How many deals did you not close?
1 a day.
1 a day, right? So 1 a day, right? So you probably, but let's think about all the leads that have come across your desk and you've actually talked to people, but you didn't close on them. I could tell you, now I'm lucky because we have a thing that we use called Agency Zoom, and it's basically a pipeline, a data management tool. And it tells me, the neat thing is it has automated emails and everything. So I don't even have to think about this anymore, right? But there are a lot of clients that have not closed. So what I want you to do is make a list of all the clients that you have yet to close, okay? Get their email, their phone number, whatever it is that you need, whatever contact information you need. Get that information. And here's what you're going to do. So you make your list first. I could tell you, I just made a list without, when I first did this, I made a list without having to go back to my database, I made a list of 89 people right off the bat, you know, that I knew of, right? And I went back to my list, and I think I had about 235 people just in the last year and a half, okay, that I did not close. Either they, you know, like Jim, you were saying, you know, they stepped away, you know, they just stopped calling me, they ghosted me, they went with somebody else at the time, you know, whatever reason, right? It just wasn't the time to close them. And this is what I do. I send them a very, very simple email. Now, here's the deal. You're going to want to make this email longer because that is just the natural inclination that most people will do, right? And Brandy, we could do this in our office too with members, with membership, right? And all I do is this: client, their name, right? I'll say, Jim, are you still interested in ... Let's discuss. And I just have my signature, and that's it. And I sent it to 235 people the first round. Okay. Don't do anything else. Don't even talk about what you talked about before, right? In your subject line, all you have to do is put the subject that in the email that you had last with them. So if you had an email conversation with them and it said, you know, interested in your service or whatever it may be, or your product, that's what you're going to use. Okay, so whatever email you had with them before in the subject line, that's what you're going to use, your last conversation, right? Or you could put, are you still interested? You know, I usually like to put RE : are you still interested, right? So, and that's all you can do. Are you still interested in, you know, in long-term health care? Let's discuss. Are you still interested in the auto insurance plan? Now, in our system, we automatically have this go out. So when a client to me is a dead deal, we indicate it as a dead deal, then I could send them an automatic email 6 months from now. And sometimes this pops up and it's just like, you know, they reply to the email and I go, oh shoot, I totally forgot about that, you know? So when I did this just individually, out of the 235 emails, I got about 7 responses. Not a lot, right? Yeah. But I closed 2 of those. Okay. Yeah. Because why? At the time, they weren't ready when I first met with them, right? Does that make sense? They weren't ready at all, but now they're ready. Why? Because the market has changed, right? Their living situation might have changed, right? Maybe they moved somewhere, they got a divorce, they bought a new car, a kid has gotten married, whatever it may be, right? Things may have changed, right? They got sick, right? So sending this simple email, and again, don't add to it, okay? I promise you, it's just going to work if you just simply say, are you still interested in ... Okay? Make sure it's an individual email. Do not do a spam. So if you have 235 emails, you're going to send 235 emails personally to them, okay? Don't put like, you know, info@gmail.com and then CC them on it. You don't want to do that. You want to make it as personal as possible, okay? This is your homework. Do this, I promise you. If you do this every 3 to 4 months or do this once a month at the beginning of the month, you're going to automatically get leads, okay? And all you're doing is you're reviving dead leads. I'll tell you a funny story. My daughter, her stepdad owns a company where they actually do cold calling, and they have like maybe about 50 people in a room that just cold calls. So she used to take the cards and she would have to enter all the information into their database management system. And then she would come across these leads that say dead leads, right? And she didn't know what they meant. She would just enter them dead leads. She thought that these were people that actually died, you know? And she would go like, oh man, these are a lot of dead people, you know? So one day she was in my office and I was like, oh, I'm reviving dead leads, right? And she's like, what does that mean? And I was like, well, these are leads that I didn't close. And she's like, oh, I always thought those were people that actually died, you know? So I thought it was funny. Anyways, all right. In your head right now, who here thinks that they have maybe 50 or more people that they could contact right away? Right? Is this simple? Is this easy? Yeah. It's very simple, right? It's so simple. I mean, you know, like Selena could even do this. Hey, are you still interested in staying in a hotel? Oh yeah, you know, we got a trip coming up in this next month, right? And I'm sure Selena's probably got a lot of inquiries that she had. If all you did was this at the beginning of the month, every month, I promise you, you're going to get some leads. All right, the next one, and this is where a lot of people in networking fail. Okay, and what I mean by that is they don't ask for referrals. Second, most people don't know that you want referrals because you haven't told them that you want referrals. Does that make sense? Okay.
Yep.
So if you don't ask, so here's my favorite saying: the fortune is in the follow-up. Okay. If you go to a networking event, the fortune's always in the follow-up. You give somebody your card, don't expect them to call you because they probably won't. All right. It's always going to be in the follow-up. If you don't ask, then you will never get the referral. Believe it or not, most of your contacts don't refer business to you because they don't know that they can. You must give your referral sources permission to give you leads. Isn't that interesting? You know, you think that just because we're on this call that I'm going to remember, you know, I'm going to remember Jim. I think, Jim, we've probably given you a couple of referrals before, but I know I've given your name out to people at least, you know, but, you know, you are probably the first people I'm going to remember now, right? But if you follow up with me, I'm probably going to remember you even more. I know about Jim because I get Jim's emails every 2 weeks or something like that, you know, so it's in my inbox. So he's always top of mind if I have a client that's going to need long-term care, right? All right, so this is an email. Now, by the way, that last email, are you still interested? You could either text it to them or email them or Facebook Messenger them or, I don't know, Instagram message or TikTok message, whatever it is, you know, just however you need to get to them. You know, that's what you do, okay? All right, so here's an email that I use, and you could write this up however you want, but the body is going to be always the same. John, it was a pleasure meeting you the other day at the breakfast meeting. I really enjoyed our discussion regarding, I don't know, string theory, whatever it is that you discuss, you know, so they can remember you, right? As I mentioned, I specialize in commercial insurance, such as workers' compensation, general liability, and commercial property. Do you happen to know one person that could benefit from my services? Now, why only one? Anybody know?
Mhm.
Why only one?
It's
They don't
easier
feel
for them to think of one person versus a whole bunch of people.
It's
It's
easy.
not overwhelming. Yeah.
Yeah, it's easy, right?
Mhm.
I don't need one. It's easy. Okay. If anyone comes to mind, please feel free to pass along my information or do an intro group email between us. Does anybody know what an intro group email is? I'm going to
Yes.
introduce Karen to Nikki. So I'm going to send both of them an email. I'm saying, hey, Nikki, meet Karen. Karen, meet Nikki. You know, Nikki, Karen does jewelry. I know that you've been trying to get Tim to buy you jewelry more often. Here's our website. She can help you out, right? So that's an intro email. I get a lot of those. I got 2 of those yesterday from a State Farm agent, you know, introducing me to their client, right? It's easy, right? I could do this on Facebook Messenger as well. I did that yesterday for a friend of mine who was looking for, I think it was something with paddle boards. They needed somebody who could fix paddle boards. So I introduced them to somebody, right? So I would be more than happy to help your clients or colleagues and provide them with the outstanding service you would expect. If there's anything else if there's anything I can do in return, please ask. Okay. This is something I send to all my clients. Now I might change this up a little bit. I might change it up and send it to an existing client of mine. I might say, John, it's been a pleasure. Let me see if I did that. Yeah, it goes, John, thank you for entrusting your business with me. It was a pleasure working with you on your ... I am very grateful. I'm very grateful to Nikki for introducing us, and I would love to work with more clients that are just like you. Remember we talked about understanding who your client is, right? Wouldn't it be nice to work with if somebody referred you to someone, right, and then you do business with them, and you like this person as a client, wouldn't they have 5 other people that are probably just like them, right? Those are the same clients you want, right? You know, so so you got to ask them though, because they don't know to refer you, right? You happen to know one person that could benefit from my services. So I send this email out to all my clients, maybe about 30 days later. Okay. If anyone comes to mind, please feel free to pass along my information or do an intro group email. Same thing, right? You know, so I get a lot of emails from clients. They actually text me. They'll do a group text and they'll say, "Hey, Junie, this is my niece. Hey, Junie, this is my nephew. Here's his auto information. He's CC'd on this text message, or he's CC'd on this email. Can you please contact them?" You know, so contact your existing clients. You know, KISS, keep it simple. All right, you don't have to make this hard. Okay, just keep it simple. All you're doing is asking. Okay, ask for one and no more than two. Ask for one and no more than two. There's a dentist in Australia. He only works on referrals, right? When you get to his door, on the outside of the door, it says, "If you were not referred by someone, by any one of my clients, please do not come in," right? You have to ring a buzzer, and when you ring the buzzer, they're going to ask you who referred you, right? Because what he does while you're sitting in the dental chair, right, is he'll actually ask his clients, "Hey, at the end of this, while you're here sitting in my chair, can you think about two people that could probably also use my dental services," right? Isn't that interesting? He only works with client referrals, but he only asks for two. That's the most he'll ask for, okay? Create a referral program. All right, so in our office, we actually have a referral program. And this is why people know to refer us, right? Let me show you our referral program. And you could create something like this for yourself. Alrighty. Okay. So in our office, we have a referral program, and it's fairly simple. Oh, wait. Did they take it out? Oh, darn it. Yeah, looks like they took it out. Well, let me find it. Okay, here we go. So this is our referral program. So in our referral program, now in insurance, there are a lot of rules. So we can't, you know, give somebody like a $50 gift. I think the max gift we could give, or referral gift we can give, is $25 in the insurance program, in insurance business. Okay. So what we do is we actually give everyone a $10 gift card that refers us, whether or not we close. So if they just give us their name and phone number, we're sending them a gift card of $10, right? Then we put them into a quarterly drawing for $100, okay? At the same time, for every lead that we get, we send a $10 gift card to one of these programs. Seal Beach Animal Shelter in the first quarter, talking about curing autism in the second quarter, Project Hope Alliance. Actually, this has changed. That's now the Surfrider Foundation in quarter 3, and an Interval House in quarter 4. So we do anywhere from $400 to $600 a quarter, just, you know, in referrals, and donating $10 per referral. Okay. And then what we do is we actually go to the location and we give them one of those big checks. We take a picture of them, then that goes on our Facebook page and into our social media. So creating a referral program so that people know about it, then that actually helps you to create more leads and referrals from other people. Okay. All right. Any questions? All right. So are these two things that you could probably do very easily, especially the first one, right? Reviving dead leads. Okay. Because I'd like to hear you guys. I'd like to see next week, next Wednesday, if you utilize this. Like George, you probably have some dead leads, maybe just in the last 6 months since you started Seal Beach Living, right?
Well, Jenny, I'm pretty good at that. I actually don't.
You already do it?
I have a whole Outlook calendar, and I just roll people, and like, hey, unless I think there's 100% chance they're dead, I actually will follow up, 4 weeks, 8 weeks, whatever it is down the road. I have a pretty good system, so I don't give up on somebody unless they said there's 100% chance I'm never going to be in your magazine. Then I would write them off, and then I might not even write them off. Then I might just put it 3 months out instead of
because you never know, they might start a new business, or they might wind up in another company, right? That says, yeah, I need to advertise there.
Yeah, I try and keep in touch, and a lot of people I think are just influential, so I want them to have a good feeling of me, and maybe if they know somebody, that'll be a good idea for them to maybe refer me.
Yeah, unless they block you, right? And
that's the difference.
That's nothing you can do about it. But and I figured you probably did something like this already. But work on that over the next. Any questions on this?
No, it's good.
Cool. All
Do
right.
it.
The
Right.
first one, the letter that you wanted us to send, it's just like a couple of sentences. What was it? It's asking a question.
Oh, it's pretty straightforward. Just send an email or a text or a Facebook message and just say, Karen, are you still interested in jewelry?
Okay.
Let's discuss. I always put let's discuss, right? Because I guarantee you're going to get an email, and that email is going to say, yeah, I'm still interested. Or it's going to say, no, I'm not interested. That's it. You know, no one ever says, take me off your damn list. You know, I've never had that, you know, or because usually it's somebody that this is probably somebody you've really had a good conversation with, right? You know, or they're going to know that they've talked to you at some point in time, especially if you just, you know, if you in the subject line, it's that previous message that you had with them, you know, that really works. Okay. So, but just it's as simple as that, you know, Karen, are you still interested in whatever your product or service is? Okay. And send that to as many people as you can. And I promise you, I mean, George does it already, you know, and people, now George may have a little bit longer email. Do you use a similar email, George, or is it just a little bit longer?
Yeah, it's similar. I mean, I just kind of follow up and say, here's the latest magazine. I kind of customize it for each person based on maybe a past conversation but I have, kind of an idea of what I want to send, and I have a little template, and then I just kind of tweak it based on, the person and things we've talked about.
Yeah. So if you think of George's pipeline, it's always being filled. Sometimes some stuff goes on to the wayside a little bit, but it's just coming back, right? That's how your pipeline should always be. It's just this, right? Some make it all the way to the bottom and you close. Some just have to go back, you know? And again, it's just about timing, right? And that's why I never feel like I don't have any leads, you know, because I know that there are leads there, okay? It's either going to be my dead leads or it's going to be from my existing clients, okay? Because remember, go ahead.
I sold an air purifier to a client about 15 years ago, and I just sold him my second one about 2 weeks ago.
That's awesome. And that goes back to the 3 ways to earn money, right? Get more clients, upsell, or repeat customers.
Yeah, I got to have repeat customers normally don't come because my air purifiers last so damn long.
Yeah, so that's, but you could get in the newest model.
Yeah, that's exactly what I did.
Yeah. You know, so that's what you got to do, right? So just keep it in that manner. All right, cool. Well, thank you guys.
Ginny,
go ahead.
Can I just say one thing?
Yes.
Because I didn't get to say what my needs are.
All right. Oh, you did. I'm sorry.
That's okay. I would like to do more fundraisers. And so if you know of any group or, any type of organization that wants to do a fundraiser, we can do it with jewelry. So it might be something and it doesn't have to be just women, women's club or something like that, because men buy jewelry for women.
Yeah.
So anyway, that. And then the other thing was I would like to grow my my customer base, but I have a private like VIP group. And it doesn't have to be people that want to buy the jewelry or that just like jewelry or interested. And then what happens is, they invite their friends and then I have women say, oh, I'm never, I'm sorry, I don't, they're friends and they don't want to support the group because they can't buy jewelry or they don't want to, or they don't like it. And I go, no, just come and be a part of the group because there's interaction. So it's nice to have their sense of humor or whatever. And then eventually I wake up one morning and there's an order from them because they saw something they can't resist or they have a need to buy a gift. So that's it.
Awesome. All right, real quick before we go, I know we're running over time here. This Friday, Saturday, Sunday is Shop, Eat, Play. Okay. That's basically our sidewalk sale. I know most of us here don't have a brick and mortar, but we are allowed to put tables on electric. So if you would like a table or like a booth on either Saturday or Sunday, go ahead and shoot me an email or text me after this. You could email me at Junie@swellinsure.com. That's SWELL insure.com. Junie@swellinsure.com. I'm going to have a table there. We're going to set up the tent for the chamber booth. So Selena, if you want a table out there on electric, you're welcome to do that. You could start setting up at 10 and we'll end at about 4 or 5 o'clock. Okay. So so if you want to promote your business on electric, I don't know if you're familiar with 21 Swing. 21 Swing is these guys that play out on Electric like every Wednesday or Tuesday, I think, right? And they play jazz. They're gonna come out and play on Saturday from 11 to 1. So they're gonna play some music for us. I'm trying to get Cheryl Loofborough to also play. So if you know, if you want a table, come on out. Colonel, if you want a table, you're welcome. Jim, you know, you got to bring your own table though, okay? So and your own material. We're not gonna provide a table for you because it's free, okay? So we have the permit already for Saturday and Sunday. So you know, if you want to come out and do that, please come on out. Or if you just want to hang out at the chamber booth and then promote your business there, then please come out and do so. Okay.
Did you send an email out on that?
I didn't yet. I wanted to give you guys first dibs on it, you know. So so if you want to do that, I can send out an email today though, so that way
You do, yeah, because I'd like to do that.
Okay, fantastic. I'll just put you down on the list to do that. Okay.
Yeah.
So
And then I'll have to know exactly when you in what and whatever. But yeah,
definitely. Okay, we could do that.
cool.
I'm
Anybody
out of
else?
town.
Oh, you can be out of
I
town.
wish I was, yeah,
No worries.
next one, next one. I'm gonna be, yeah.
All
I'm
right,
gonna
Nick,
be-
yeah, Nikki, if you want to do an Affleck table, you're welcome to. Jim, if you want to do the same, please come out and do so. Okay.
Good.
All right.
If anybody's taking pictures, just make sure that, you know, we take pictures out there. So Nikki Muller has some things for, because she's going to be out of town too. She's got an event and she's got 2 Lions things she's doing. So she
Okay.
needs pictures for.
Diana, you know I'm going to do that. I'm going to
I
be
know
out there.
you will.
Yeah.
She just needs you to send some without your, you know, when you do them,
That-
you put, yeah.
I got
Just
it.
send them to her. Good.
I'm going to send
Thank you.
some pictures without the, you know,
Yeah.
what is it,
The
selfies?
cool stuff.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
Send them to me
Cool.
as well, please, so
yeah.
that I
Yeah.
can put them in this wheel.
Yeah, I'll send them to Nikki and Brandy. Okay.
All right.
Okay. That's
Well,
good.
cool. Well, I think Brandy went ahead and copied everyone's information down. So we'll go ahead and share that with you before the end of the day. And then again, thank you guys so much
Good.
for joining on this first call. I really appreciate it.
Thanks, Judy.
Thank you.
Thanks, Junie.
Bye,
Thank
Nikki.
you.
Bye, Brandy.
Thank
Bye,
you.
Jim.
Bye-bye.
See you guys. Bye,
Bye.
Bye,
Karen.
guys. Brandy,
Bye,
if you
See you,
could-
Colonel.
How about you guys?
Bye.
Bye.
Junie, I have a question for you.
Sure.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you, how do we sign up? Because I'm interested in signing up for the table.
Oh, just shoot me an email that you want to, and I'll give you more details on it. Okay.
What's your email?
JUNI
Mhm.
at swellinsure.com.
Mm-hmm. Perfect.
All right.
Sounds
All right,
good.
great. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
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 And
See you
George, you
guys.
want a table too? George, do you need a table for Saturday?
I don't.
You
I'm
want?
gonna walk. I'm just gonna walk around now.
Perfect. Okay. Cool.
Okay. I'll see you guys out there.
All right. Thank you.
Bye, Diana.
Any questions, Diana?
No, are we gonna do a Facebook page for this group, like a private one, so we can share goodies on it?
That's
Like
a
your
good
video
idea. I
photo?
didn't think about that.
I think it's a good idea because we can share like tips, like anybody, we can communicate like ongoing before the meeting. So I think it's a great idea. Since
a great
Brandy was
idea.
still on there. Yeah,
Brandy, can
just
we
do it a
make a
private-
page like
Yep.
that from our page?
Yep,
All right,
yep,
cool.
I'll figure that out, yep.
Yeah, cool. That's a good idea. Thank you. Any
Yeah.
updates? Any more updates that you might have gotten for Shopee Play?
no, I was gonna see if someone could swing into, because I'm out of town now and nobody, 320 was gonna do Jimmy told me he was gonna do a happy hour. He was trying to look to see what Tom was doing and then he never got back to me. And then the shell shop, Lisa, or you know, the one, not the shell on the left side, but the right side by the parking lot, her store. She was going to put something in and I have not got anything from her. I've checked in twice. So
Okay.
The cottage, right, okay.
We'll have to call. I'll call them then. I was gonna make some phone calls
Okay.
today. Okay. All right.
Okay.
Cool.
all right,
Thank you.
good. Sounds good.
Diana.
Thank you. It was good. I like it. Bye,
Yeah,
Brandy.
thanks.
And then